As we continue our discussion regarding advertisement and promotion, let us remember this is a practice of profession, so it's not like selling um, clothes or chocolates or some merchandise. So we do not really follow the same format of how we sell things. We advertise, we promote the profession in a professional manner, meaning there are some rules that should be followed to be able to advertise. For example, um, the professional accountant should be honest and truthful, should not make exaggerated claims or for services offered, qualifications possessed, or experience gained, or make disparaging reference to unsustained comparisons to the work of another. So, meaning to say, whatever you advertise should only be truthful. Because as we know, when other companies selling some other stuff, they do make claim, for example, shampoo or some conditioner that this is the effect of this like this, and sometimes it's not true, right? But for the CPA profession or accounting profession, you cannot do like that. You cannot make exaggerated claims. If the CPA in public practice in doubt whether proposed form of marketing is appropriate, the CPA in public practice should consult with the relevant professional body. Kung nagdududa ka kung okay ba yan, kasi as we say, may mga rules, no? So if you're in doubt, before you do it, you have to consult first with the professional body. Advertising by professional accountant beyond their name, address, telephone number, and membership in a professional organization has been traditionally considered unethical in the accountancy profession. So ibig sabihin, if there are some journals or like a newspaper for accountants, you cannot really put something beyond your name and your contact details. Okay. The reason for not allowing advertisement include advertising can lead to undue competition between and among practitioners and thus may cause a decline in the quality of service. Advertising would encourage a more commercial approach within the profession, thus reducing clients' trust in CPA and also increasing likelihood of CPAs neglecting their ethical duties. So let me explain that. No, if you're doing advertising and you are trying to like induce client to get your services, of course you'll be spending for the advertising. So maybe you want to recover from them. And when you want to recover from client, as you know, you're not, it's not a normal service that you're doing for them. You are providing, opinion under audit, under state financial statement. If you owe them because you have charged them a lot, maybe if you find something that is worth mentioning, like you need to give them a qualified opinion, meaning to say you found something is wrong, it's difficult because you are like compromised because of the amount you're charging them. That's why this is the difference between other business, because here you are getting paid and yet you have to be not so biased, because at the end of the day, whatever you do in there, I mean, when you audit the financial statement, you have to give an honest opinion. The cost of advertising would outweigh any savings which might result from a competition, and it will become borne ultimately by client, and small or new practitioner would be unlikely to have financial resources to match the advertising of larger or more established practices. So that's why they try to avoid that, because big company, they can spend a lot for advertisement while small cannot do that. And when you spend a lot for advertisement, the thing is that this will be borne by the client, right? So you will have a huge expense. And as we know, when you do the audit, you don't want to spend a lot of time because you would not be making money anymore. That's why, as much as possible, you don't want to spend for some other things, because first of all, you have to spend for the salary of the auditor. Now you spent a lot for the advertising, so you have to recover all of those, and that might even put the quality of audit under risk because you don't want to lose money. So what will happen, you might reduce the number of hours worked by auditor because you want to recover your advertisement costs. Okay. Then this is the development of on advertising due to expansion of services. So there are rules by the coming from the IFAC, and this one you just review by yourself. BO resolution number 126. So there will be these rules that you have to remember. So anyway, you have your book, okay? And then you have examples of acceptable publicity. So these are examples. So you're allowed to, mention the award of professional accountant seeking employment or professional business. So these are allowed here. So then you can put your name on the directory, books, articles, interviews. Then you are allowed. You can invite your client for a professional training. Okay. You can because as you mentioned, as you do the audit, you might discover some of the accountants or staff are not really that knowledgeable. So you can recommend training courses, then booklets and documents containing technical information, staff recruitment and publicity on behalf of the clients. Okay. And you can also brochure and firm directory. A professional accountant in public practice may issue to client or in response to unsolicited questioning client a factual, objectively worded of the service provided, and a directory setting out names and partners, office addresses and names and address associated of the firm. So you can issue actually a brochure, but with there's a limitation on what you can write there. Then you can also have stationery like yung mga ball pen, yung mga notepad which has the name of the company. And again, there's some limitation too. Then you can have announcement also on the newspaper. Yan. So basically, these are the things that you should remember on this chapter. So, yan. Inductions of the name of the CPA in the public practice in a document issued by the client. Inclusion pala. Inclusion of the name of the CPA in the public in a document issued by the client. So, it's allowed. So, just have to read it. When a client proposed to publish a report by a professional accountant in public practice dealing with the client's existing business affairs or in connection with the establishment of the new business venture, the professional accountant in public practice should take steps to ensure that the context in which the report is published is not such as might result in public being misled as to the nature and meaning of the report. So if in case the name of the client, the CPA is included in the report of the client, it should be make sure na it would not be misinterpreted. So your name should be they should not be thinking that you have providing something else. So dapat klaro kung ano ba talaga involvement mo sa document. Then you have the anniversaries and the websites. So these are the rules, no? Just remember them, okay? Then website and the debt. This is the billing, okay? So the billing depende, no? You just remember this kind of billing. You have the fixed or flat, okay? So fixed, ibig sabihin, they can agree certain amount, let's say 1 million, and then actual time basis, ibig sabihin, they can agree on the how much per hour, and then maximum fee basis, ibig sabihin, it could be per hour, pero there is a maximum fee. Then you have the retainer's fee basis, iba naman yan. The auditor is paid a fixed predetermined fee for all services rendered during a designated period of time, or either on a monthly, semi-annual, annual basis. Paano yung retainer fee? For example, the client agreed to pay 100,000 per month every month for 12 months. So that can include the audit and some other things. Because when you are paying a retainer fee, sometimes they come to review your books every month. So ano bang maganda doon? You are being prepared for the audit ahead of time. If there are things to be corrected, they are corrected already prior to the audit. So meaning to say, it's like a mini audit, no, every month. So ang maganda doon, whatever correction should be done, it's already done right away. How about the debt, disability, dissolution, and liquidation? The debt or disability of an individual CPA or the dissolution of a liquidation firm or partnership shall be reported to the BOA and by any designated staff member of this individual CPA, the sole practitioner of the firm, case of unavailability of sole practitioner or managing partner of the partnership. Okay, so yun dapat i-report sa BOA na kung may namatay sa mga partner. Okay, so the report shall be made in the form of affidavit in the case of individual CPA firm or by furnishing the BOA with the certified copy of the dissolution of the liquidation papers filled with the SEC in the case of partnership. So importante yun, no? If you are, for example, the family of a deceased CPA who is a sole proprietor, you have to inform the the BOA. Hindi na basta-basta lang parang wala nang pakialam, no? They should be informed that this partnership is dissolved. And yun. And for example, you are the partner naman of a deceased partner, you have to inform them that your partner is already dead. Kasi there is a rule, di ba, yung name, you can only keep the name for 2 years and then you have to remove the name of the partner. Okay. Now, actually, I'm finishing chapter 4. Okay, it's already done. So next, I will upload this chapter 5.